Welcome back. Today we're going to work on the old Jeep Grand Cherokee. This thing has been sitting in the woods for a couple of years, and after beating the crap out of it, it's got dings and dents everywhere for being a woods toy. Here's one in the gate, here's one in the quarter. The fenders were absolutely crumpled up, so I bought some new ones. Just bolted them on last night. And the plan for today is to get Mountain Vista Fabrication fender armor installed. Got the Mountain Vista Fabrication narrow front fender armor for the ZJ. So this thing's fairly hefty by itself, and it's got brackets for the front and the rear and some bolts, but I have not seen any instructions yet, so I'm just going to figure this out. The skin of the fender is so thin, it's basically useless. So this is going to be the fender. The skin is just there for decoration at this point once all the braces are in. So let's go check it out. Looking at the armor and where that flare is, it's pretty flat, so anything that's, got this rise in, it's pretty much got to go. So we're just going to freehand this thing. We're going to come along this line, and we're going to come down to maybe right here. Let's check that out. No, it's almost got to go all the way down. It's going to get skinny. Maybe we need to get to, we'll cut it to here. Let's see what that looks like. Because if we pick this up and have it anywhere near the edge, yeah, that line's pretty close. And still come further over. Come back, it's the tick. We're almost there. That might be a bad way. This just needs to come straight down. Here's what we ended up with. Pretty skinny here. I left this. Once it's bolted in, it's probably still need another trim. But basically, cut out the arch almost straight down. And this if you want it to match. On the other side, I cut this all the way out. And once I actually get this mounted, I will cut this all the way off. My plan for mine is to cut the rockers out and do the 2x6 tubing, and I'm going to come all the way up with the tubing. So I think. So that's going to go right here. Now I'm going to start by getting it lined up and using this hole. Because looking at the shape, which I've got two hands here, I can either kind of make it match the door, or I can make it match the front or the top. I can't do both, and what I care most about is probably that top. Because if I make this perfect, that's wrong. And I've only got two hands. So I'm going to get this hole marked and drilled first. And then play with it, hold it up there, get the angle right, get that one drilled, and then tweak it from there. Well, we got two bolts in it. Got one right here trying to follow that line good enough. It is just going to be good enough. You can see we're tight. It gets bigger here, but if I try to fix that, then I mess this up because we're tight. It gets bigger at the bottom. Some of that I can shove over, but it's good enough for what it's doing. I also don't have the header panel in. This may straighten up a bit, and this is a, I'm sure, China fender, so who knows what's right. And of course the door's beat, the gaps are wrong. I think I can shove the base over just a bit. But I'm going to sit here and play and see if I can get this side installed. Now I'm at the point of putting in the filler plate for the rear, and this thing's going to be pretty sturdy. I'm having to kind of wedge it in here. It's probably because my body's a little beat up, but I started the bolts and got this started here. I had to kind of pull out the fender and wedge it, which gives me some confidence. This thing's going to be pretty tight. So we'll get this guy tightened up, and then I'm assuming they just want us to drill. I'm going to pop the hood and make sure I can get to the backside. I believe we can, and that's placed fairly nicely. There's nothing they can really attach it to down here. That is the best place. And then let's figure out the front. Front's got 2 of these brackets. There's a hole, there's a hole. I'm sure it is probably that simple. Oh, let's drill some more holes. Snugly. On all these exterior bolts, they've got fender washers. I didn't put them on because I've got to take all this apart later on and put some kind of paint on the fenders. They are black, but I don't know, it's not really a last all forever paint, or even for some time. I've seen most of these parts come in, and if people leave them on whatever coating this black is on the fender itself, not the armor, it'll just start to rust slowly. And I'll give this a little yank, make sure that's in its happy spot. Let's see if it... Oh, that is nice. Pop the hood. Like in the instructions, supposed to dig out all the leaves. Gross. Oh, look at that. This thing's been having a hard time starting. And I think I just found probably the problem. There is a bunch of wires chewed out right there. Unless that's where I got rid of the ABS. I have to check that out. Oh my. Alright, I've still got some cleaning to do, but there's the top hole right there. And the lower hole, so watch when you're drilling these you don't hit your harness. And I can't promise I didn't cut something out of here, but if I did, why did I leave this stuff? So I bet something has been eating things. I'll have to figure out what doesn't work anymore. But let's carry on. See if this is long enough to get in there. This one almost lines up with the hole in the factory. One. Yes, all I had to do was that one hole. I'm not actually going to bolt these in, but these are going here and here. And you saw where they went on the other side, so let's figure out the front. Here's our next one. No, not that way. That way? Maybe they are opposites. That would make sense. Bingo. They really did a good job on this kit. I thought about making my own, but since I would just be doing it for me, it's not worth doing all the R&D to get it right. But since they have put all the work into it, I get to do the easy part. Maybe. Come on. Oh, you bastard. Don't cross the edge. Alright. No, that one's not starting that way. Started? Come on. This one's a bit of a pill. I'm gonna take the lower back out. So I can rock the front one at an angle. Not really. Kinda. Maybe some form of this. There we go. Good luck with that one, guys. This one's right in the corner. That one's going to be a bit of a pill. If I got the right bracket. And I've got the right bracket. It only gets worse going the other way. There's no slots. Well, there is. We will aim to get this one right here. Right there. We're going to have to... It might live in that hole. We're just going to move up a bit. Let's see what's in here. Oh yeah. Did it make it? Yes, it did. Just barely, but it's making it. Cool. One side done. That's looking pretty good. The one tons are going to have... I was going to put the wheels off the XJ on here with these tires, and that would push it out. But now, I don't know how far the one tons are going to stick out. But this gives you somewhere to stand. And once all that's bolted together, this is pretty... That's pretty tough right there. That's awesome. This cut's not bad. You can come in here and trim this some more. Like I said on mine, when I'm done, all this is getting cut, gone. This will all be gone and be 2x6 tube, probably beveled. And I might give it something to attach to this guy on the back side to really reinforce it, since this will be gone. But that'll work, and now I can see just how bad my door's caved in. Started looking at that door gap, and it might be a little more than it was supposed to be, because when I first put the fender on without the armor, I didn't really have a gap. So I started looking into it, and I've been having to trim this piece, trim this down. When I was having to pull this to wedge that in, of course that pushed the fender out. So now I'm trimming this until this is good enough. And I can't tell if it was perfect because it didn't look that close, but my door is bashed. I can't tell if this is a good witness mark or not, but you can still see I've got this closer, and now I've got this giant gap. But look at the line here where the door scrubbed for all those years, or the cladding or whatever. So I can't tell for sure until I get a door on this thing and get it lined back up. So all in all, well worth getting this as a start, and then having to fit it all in. It's just kind of part of it. This is a Woods Jeep. Mine's been beat on. I think this is mostly still straight, but there's no telling what I've done to this thing, you know, as far as having to modify the kit to fit or get it so it doesn't bulge the fender out. So it might be my fault, but either way I would still buy this and do a little tweak to make it work for my Jeep rather than have to figure it all out myself. So thank you, Mountain Vista Fabrication.